Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing The Witcher. This is season 2, episode 2, titled Kaer Morhen. We know a thing or two about this place, and we've sort of been looking forward to seeing Kaer Morhen in the series, seeing certain characters pop up. Vesemir, for one, played by Kim Bodnia. Really excited about that. And of course, now it's the other side of the holidays. Hope you guys had a good Christmas if you celebrate that sort of thing.
Or
We-
just happy holidays.
yeah, just a good holidays, a nice weekend. We did at least, and now we are back to watching some more The Witcher, and hopefully we can catch up in the coming weeks. Get some reactions out there for you guys, and also catch up on The Expanse, and then of course we're still doing Attack on Titan, all that good stuff, and the Book of Boba Fett coming very, very soon. But I think we're pretty much just ready to jump into the episode, unless you have anything you want to say.
I'm a little sick. It's like an on-off thing. It's nothing contagious. It makes me probably a little bit more sensitive to gore, like more than I already am. So if I'm, if I look like I'm about to throw up, it's probably because I am.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary.
No.
There, I guess. Do I have any disclaimers? I'm dealing with a bit of a headache right now, but I don't think it's gonna affect the viewing at all. Anywho, are you ready to jump into it? Yes, let's do it. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Attack on Titan at the moment. We might do some early reactions for The Witcher down the line when we really start getting into the second season. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. Barely got through that one. Here we go.
I can't wait to grow up together.
When is this?
You, me, and her. The family
No.
we always
Oh.
dreamed of.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a horrible dream. / nightmare.
She's ours.
Oh, it's an elf. I think that's basically what she said all season. Yeah, I think
Even
it might be.
Frangilla is having a nightmare, it seems.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Finally, an honest response.
Yep.
It's definitely elves.
Keep them close.
Yeah. We've seen him before.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it Philavandriel?
Yeah.
They look like Arethusa.
Are we
We
going
set fire
to...
to them in the early wars.
What is this place?
Is this...
Keep behind me. You keep your mouth shut.
Is this happening?
What is happening?
Set us free. And we promise to grant you
Whoa.
Pathreste landruden en nile. And teach ichtnen. Once we find what we're looking for, we ship their heads back to Arethusa as a reminder of elven glory.
I don't know who she is, but she seems sort of mad or vengeful, at least.
Yeah, it can't be who I'm thinking about then.
Okay.
She has a lot more grace.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Kaer
that's
Morhen.
Kaer Morhen.
Looks very much like the one represented in the games, at least.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Like pretty much the exact same,
No,
almost, or
not entirely. But close.
very close.
How many did you say there
It's
were?
a bit weird to see her with eyebrows.
I didn't.
Suddenly.
Yeah, that's a season 2 thing.
Yeah.
I think they just decided
Last
it
I
looks
checked,
better.
we were 20 now. Maybe less.
Maybe less. I think the same thing as with Thor in the MCU. He had blonde eyebrows in the first Thor movie, and then after that, they decided no.
Wow, okay, there are a lot more than...
Whoa.
Wolf, you're home. Finally.
Vesemir.
Hello there.
There he is.
Who's ready?
Oh, that's Eskel.
Eskel.
Ah.
Okay.
You alright? Look like the old shit.
Took a hand, though. Is that a leash?
Walk like one.
Fire through the heart is the only thing that puts one down. 6 hours in, that didn't occur to you?
Be careful there. You knew.
Who the hell are you?
Princess Cyrilla of Sintra. Pleasure to meet you.
Can't hear Kim Botnia's accent at all.
No.
I feel like those things, those poles that he's training on, they were in the video game as well, at least.
Pretty sure they're in the books as well.
When you told me you called the law a surprise, I told you big mistake. You said you promised you wouldn't claim the child.
A little bit of an accent. Wow, she's just going exploring.
I brought her here so she'd be safe. It's easier for me to protect her within these walls.
Long enough to watch for answers.
Exactly. Learn who she is, what she is.
What if your princess is more than you bargained for?
I know that already.
I'm just exploring. Told Geralt I'd find a good room.
Oh, this isn't a castle. Your Highness, they're all shells.
True that. I guess that room is at least better than the other ones you looked at.
At least there's not a huge crack in the wall.
Yeah, just a window.
That was a scarf that Mouse gave her?
I think so, yeah.
Or, well, no, from grandmother. Calanthe.
You were having a nightmare earlier.
Night terrors are common after battle. You've had them as well, so don't try to...
What was yours about?
Do you think now's the time to start sharing stories about
Do
dreams?
you really think I'm asking? Because I personally give a shit. I've dreamt of one in red, and her elven mage dreams of one in white.
Huh.
What matters is we can use this to our advantage.
We need to talk to Francesca.
She's no reason to trust us.
Oh my god, they actually did that.
Francesca?
Yeah.
So it is the person you thought
Yeah.
it was. They're just behaving differently than anticipated.
I'll get into it.
Are you the Filavandrel of the songs? Rose against the lioness.
The lying bard and his tunes. My people turned to Francesca after I failed to beat Calanthe. They needed faith.
Faith's a simple medicine for desperate souls.
Faith sustains us all in dark times.
I've heard there hasn't been a pure-blooded elf born in decades.
We've dreamt of robed figures too. Hers is red, mine is black.
Perhaps we're the key.
We found something! Close.
Or maybe not.
Training is dangerous.
So is the man with the black-winged helmet.
And you want to kill him?
Yes.
Why?
I hate him.
We don't kill out of fear. We kill to save lives. How's your room?
As rats.
That's a good sign. Means it's one of the warm ones.
You know, in Sintra, I went to parties
Cyrilla.
all the...
Stay put.
Oh.
Alright. So I guess there's some sort of village nearby.
Are you taking a break from tucking in your girl?
I understand that you're in pain, and you can drown that pain with whomever you want, just not here.
Oh no, you don't. What the? Huh? Eskel is being a bit of an ass.
Mm-hmm.
Your dreams. Tell me.
Show us yours first.
Itheline guides me clear the labyrinth, where I see the sun rise on a new elven kingdom.
My guide's not Ethelyn. It's Amir.
And yours?
Behold the mother of forests, the deathless mother, nesting in dreams.
It's an incantation about a hut with no doors. Perhaps this deathless mother's one of the old gods.
First you say it's Ethelyn, then you say it's one of the old gods.
What designs would either have with two humans?
Maybe you're about to find out.
What happened to him?
One of the oldest monsters, a demon. Long extinct. She still calls to the unfortunate souls unlucky enough to cross her woods. Lures them in to devour them.
Scary stories don't really work on me.
Sure.
And this one, Declan, was killed by men right in these halls.
He was like a father to you, wasn't he?
Oh.
This is your Geralt's.
Okay, from Nightmare of the Wolf.
Possibly, yeah.
Geralt said I'd be protected here.
It's hard to do when I don't know who I'm protecting. Or what I'm protecting her from.
She's not wrong about that. Let's go. Go to fucking bed.
We took on that wooden beast. And we took on yours.
Oof.
Ah, no. Oh, shit.
That's... Whoa, that's nasty.
Okay, so he got infected with the Leshen somehow? Like, by the Leshen?
After the usurper executed Fergus, he had all of the mages moved to a prison playhouse. I was there for years. Then Emir found me. A hut with no doors.
Turn your back to the forest. Hut, hut. Turn your front to me. Hut, hut.
A hut on legs.
I was hoping she'd do as I say.
Kids never do what you say. We had a chat, and then I sent her to bed. Are you sure you're ready for this?
You were the last surviving Witcher after Kaer Morhen fell. You and a batch of mutated orphans. Were you ready?
No.
But you protected us anyway.
No. I told you how to fend for yourselves.
Uh-oh. Better go have a look and, like, check up on Eskel, at least.
I'll find Cirilla.
No. Do what you do best.
Look alive, girl. We've got company.
What are you doing? Stay back. Hey! Don't barge into a girl from raving about a sword, you moron! Stand guard outside!
So this is why there are more witches than anticipated, because we're gonna have to...
Expendables!
Yes. Lose some of them. But does that mean Eskel is dead? That would change things, right?
Yep. Aww.
Poor rats.
But what happened to the woman that he was with?
Probably quite dead.
Yeah, that's what I fear.
And the rats ran out of the room, so it's no longer the safest and warmest place to be.
Don't be scared. I'm here to help you.
Italy?
Are you a child, Fringilla? Did I save you from the playhouse to be a child?
The path has been hard.
And the path forward will be harder still. But I can help you.
Power. That's what you live for. That's your play. It's for the desperate. You're the desperate one, Yennefer.
So who or what is messing with them?
The earth will flow with the blood of elves.
How do I save them?
Imagine that you are the Emperor right now.
The others' dreams were obvious. You thought you were special.
You need friends. Allies that know this land as if it were their own.
The first pure elf for years.
Oh, she's pregnant.
You felt it since Sodden. Or rather, haven't.
Felt it.
Farewell, Chaos. What will she live for now?
Zilliloop. Zilliloop. Move, damn it! Fucking parlor tricks!
Yes.
Illusion is breaking. Oh.
I'm going to let you beg some more. I want your desperation crisp.
I think I see what fairy tale this is inspired by. With the witch in a forest and baking and
Maybe, yeah.
maybe feeding on people and
Whoa.
yeah, she's quite dead.
So what did we learn? Fire through the heart?
Oh shit, okay. There we go. Fire through the heart. Huh?
Geralt.
Can you cure that? Ow.
I thought you could help me.
Can you say anything?
Look, witches fight. We run. Go. Go.
Seems ill-advised, but then again, Geralt is keeping the thing busy. Oh well. Hey man, Desimir. I like the imagery there. Oh. Smart.
We can save you.
Ah, come on. Oh, fuck. Okay. We're wrong. We didn't even lose any of the other witches. Just...
That one woman and Eskel.
an Eskel, yeah.
You saw her too.
Don't worry, you're free.
Oh, okay.
Francesca claims that the old gods want an alliance between the elves and Nilfgaard. I agreed.
Then you're both fools.
If she really is that evil, why does she let you go?
When I first came to Kaer Morhen, Vesemir said to me that the world outside these walls is a dangerous place.
So Jennifer is just on her own now again?
But times are changing. Even here.
Oh.
Oh, that was a cute little... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Easter egg. Same medallion as in the games.
This continent was meant for no one. All you have to do, Ciri, is keep your sword close and keep moving.
Time to start training. Maybe get some clothes that are easier to move around in. But yeah,
maybe, yeah.
Okay. That was season 2, episode 2. Kaer Morhen. I believe you have a thing or two to say about this one, at least when it comes to like comparing it to the book material, the source material. We know still, of course, when you are adapting something, it can never be the same, and it's just a different version of the story that we're getting here with a bunch of the same characters or characters with the same or with names that are familiar to us or to you more specifically, because you've read way more than I have when it comes to the saga. I've just read the short stories, but at least I think I know that we are doing the comparison here. Eskel, he doesn't die straight away in the books, does he? No, he's one of the witches that, sticks around for a while. And just the amount of witches as well was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, because, well, in the books they only mention those 5 witches. And Iskel even mentioned them when he was talking about, like, who was heard through, like, during summer. Because the thing with the witches, they seek out for, like, the spring and summer and everything. And when that time is up, or well, when sometimes at least, when it gets to winter time and they don't feel like they have anywhere to go, they go back to Kaer Morhen and kind of like
stock up and rest and maybe practice get some more potions.
At least they go back to Kaer Morhen, and then they kind of and it's different each year who's coming back or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly in the books, it's only the 5 of them. So like Vesemir, Geralt, Cohen, Eskel, and Lambert. Like I understand why they're doing this, because they need like a reason to train Ciri.
Yes.
And that reason in this one was that Eskel being infected by this Leshy.
Isn't it a Leshen or?
I think they call it Leshy.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just like a cute nickname, Leshy. Okay, yeah.
No, again, I'm a little bit wobbly on certain things.
Yeah, I can't remember everything.
No, and especially since this is not happening in the books.
Yeah, it's a new addition, or it's new in this story, or it's a different story, as I said, a different telling of the story.
Yeah, I can just say straight away, they took a whole lot of liberties in this one. And, of course, I know I'll probably just disclaim this straight away. I'll try my best to be as appreciative of what they've done. It's very hard because they have changed some things that we'll get into. But I really try and just please remember, this is my opinion. I've read the books, this is my opinion. And I don't want to take anything, any joy, any glee, anything you got away from what you've watched. This is solely my opinion. Yeah. And it's okay that if you agree with me. I will not hold it against anyone. Please don't give me flack for not necessarily liking everything that they're doing.
I think, and you could see in the comments on our first reaction at least, that it seems like, you know, people who aren't, you know, that attached to the story from the books, they overall like really enjoying this season or this story so far, and then the people who are more attached to the story from the books, maybe not as fond of some of the changes that they've made. So maybe expect some of that from us as well. But again,
for me, yeah.
I'm the one here who's experiencing this story really for the first time, even though I also have some expectations, and I do know a few things just from talking to you and references here and there. But still, yeah, going into it, like coming at it from different angles here, at least. But they are definitely telling us it is a dangerous world, no matter who you are, where you are, and showing us that through Yennefer's storyline. It seems like as well, who can you trust? What can you trust? It's really very much in the grays, all of it, and they really also trying a lot to show us that none of these characters are inherently good or bad, or none of the events or what's going on in this world is inherently good or bad. That's what I'm getting from the story they're telling. Absolutely. I know it's not necessarily the same as
no,
books,
but what I mean is just like, if they lump everybody into this soup of gray, because I think we all know people in our own lives that are not necessarily like, who are more in like the further ends of the spectrum of gray. Exactly. And I feel like I've met no one so far that are on these ends, or maybe I've seen some of them who are like more on the evil side, kind of.
Yeah.
But I haven't met someone who's like on the other side, who's very sincere and very, you know, like very
pure and good.
Yeah, like, because there are definitely people also in this world. Of course, we all come from somewhere, and we haven't always been good people, or we're still like fallible in so many ways. But I still think that there's a broad spectrum of where people fall on the good to evil scale, and not everyone and everything is in this gray zone. But so far with this series, I feel like everybody's just being lumped into this soup, and that's kind of what I slightly dislike this view on like that everybody is gray, where it's like I don't agree with that at all, and I think I think it's a little bit sad, because it takes away from a little bit, at least for me, it takes a little bit away from that, you know, some of those messages about good and evil. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, because we usually, and I of course know that Netflix probably really wants this. They want this to be their Game of Thrones, so to say. And Game of Thrones really, the story structure in there and the characters in there. That was not the first time we've seen it, but it was to a lot of people new and exciting because it was so much in the gray and it felt very real and no one was truly good or bad per se. But of course, there were some people who were more like towards one end of the scale and then
you had
the other.
Ramsay Bolton.
Ramsay Bolton all the way in the holy fuck, you're a maniac and you're just straight up evil scale, and then someone like let's say Jon Snow, who's like way more towards the good side, but even like he had qualities there that's more in the gray, and we are more used to that when it comes, or we're more used to the black and white thing when it comes to fantasy storytelling and sci-fi storytelling, because in there you can tell some really like classic good versus evil stories, but here they're very much leaning towards the Game of Thrones approach, where everyone is sort of more or less towards the middle, and you're just missing some of that more classic fantasy fairy tale,
no,
or not fairy tale, but yeah, it's like.
I'm not missing necessarily a black and white thing. I'm just missing that they're actually like.
Oh yeah, but there's that as well. Like plus with the gray, I'm not saying that it should be either gray or black and white, but like missing
at least
some of the more black or white tones or criteria characters inside of the story. I just
feel like it's such a 2D thing about characters. Like if you can still be incredibly nuanced and then still be like a white knight, or like you can still be a very good like on the good end of the spectrum, and still be very nuanced and have a lot of like depth to a character without necessarily like, you don't have to be lumped into the gray to be an interesting multifaceted character. You really don't have to. And that's what I miss about this, and and that's
maybe like we're only 2 episodes into the second season, of course. We'll see where it all goes.
Yeah, I can forgive about what they've done about Eskel, because spoiler alert, that's not what happens in the books. But so I can forgive that.
It doesn't change the overall story, so to say, necessarily.
No, not necessarily. No, I'm still interested in seeing like the rest of her stay at Kaer Morhen. If they're gonna stick more to the books, or they're still just gonna divert straight away from it, because there's a very specific event that's happening at Kaer Morhen that I'm personally looking very much forward to, but I'm not sure it's gonna happen for a lot of reasons. And I think it's a bit of a shame, but again,
if it doesn't happen, it's a shame.
If it doesn't happen, yeah. But it's the way it's leaning so far, I don't think it's gonna happen. So let's see about that. But it was nice to see people like Vesemir. I think Kim Bodnia actually did quite a good job in portraying him. And
yeah, that like stern side about him, sure, but also seemed like you could feel that the warmth there as well. The way he was talking to both Geralt and Ciri, and he is someone who cares a great deal about all of these people. And he knows that he's fallible as well. And it's just, so far, really, really like Kim Bodnia's portrayal of Vesemir. And throughout the episode, you can definitely hear more and more that, okay, there's an accent there. But I don't know if you guys are going to pick up on it as much as we do, because we know that it's sort of a Danish accent.
Yeah, we listen to Danish accents all day.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah. So we know, definitely, we can pick stuff like that up. But yeah, you actually asked about the witch's eyes, because you immediately saw that when all the other witches were there.
Yeah.
You looked. You said that they didn't have the same kind of eyes as Geralt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that most of the like mutagens that they're getting, that they will alter your eyes. But specifically for Geralt, he has had an especially rough time with like
Yes.
his mutagens
Okay, yeah,
were especially rough. So that can also explain why he's has white hair,
Yeah,
white skin, and
that's the
eyes
part
and
that I knew about, that what he went through was he had a really tough go at it compared to some of the other witches, and that made his skin white and his hair white, or his skin pale and his hair white. I just thought, but that's maybe just from the games again, because I'm mostly familiar with the characters from the games, and I've still only read the short stories, and in those you don't necessarily really get the description, or at least a lot of other witches described to you. So it's just, I was just curious about why they maybe didn't have like the exact same eyes, because that's a trait that they have in the games, where like at least all the witches you meet have the same eyes as Geralt's. But I just didn't know if that was the case.
I might also be mixing up the books with the games. So because I only read Blood of Elves recently, leading up to this season, and played the games on the side, because like, okay, I've always a game save moving in The Witcher. I've always got one. So I might have mixed up something there, but I just feel like there was something about the mutagens that was especially hard on Geralt that's also kind of confirmed. But at least in regards to Eskel's appearance, I think he's described as he has like a lot of scars on his face, and make him look very like scary looking.
Yes.
And kind of ominous in a way, but he's not necessarily. He's just a little bit awkward, but he's not necessarily like evil. So I was a little bit thrown off by his demeanor was a bit off. But if he was infected by the Leshen, that would make sense.
Yes.
Sorry, the Leshy, because I was a little bit when he was talking to Ciri, and he was kind of like I don't know, he got very territorial.
It seemed a bit off, or seemed a bit like he was not threatening her straight up or anything like that, but he had sort of a threatening demeanor about him, and of course then that was the Leshy. But you said he had scars, and I could definitely see that.
So I think
on
that
his face, so.
Did that well.
But at least they then managed to kill the Leshy, or Eskel had taken over by it in the end. And you were totally right with how they were going to do it. There was definitely some foreshadowing there at the beginning of the episode, with how you use fire to kill it and through the heart. And it was a shame that Geralt had to do it like that. But if he hadn't stepped in that moment, then Vesemir probably would have been dead. Wouldn't want that. But it was sad to see someone die already of the witches that we just met. But it's again underlines just how fucking dangerous this world is. Even though Geralt told Ciri that he would be able to protect her inside of those walls, there's still risks. There's still going to be risks. And as Vesemir also told him when Geralt asked about, the past, and you can't protect her, you can't protect someone, but you can teach them to protect themselves at least. And then that was what he sort of committed to towards the end, and they were training with the sword. So just some full circle stuff there,
and a lot of foreshadowing as well.
A lot of foreshadowing, it seems like. But let's move on to the other part of the episode, the other story that we're following with Yennefer. And we were right, at least in the end of the previous episode. We guessed that it was elves, it was Scoia'tael, even though they didn't say Scoia'tael in this one necessarily. But at least it was Filavandrel. We've met him before, and we even had a reference to that, and the song that Jaskier came up with, and calling him the King of Elves. But people after that, and after Filavandrel, he was unable to do what he promised to do with fighting back against Sintra, something like that. But the rest of the elves, they then turned to Francesca. who's a character who's at least someone that you're familiar with from the books. And it seems like it was a little bit of a different take on the character compared to the books, or at least that's what I'm guessing and based on your reaction.
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely did not expect her to look like that. Didn't expect her to meet her this early.
Okay.
Like, I can accept some parts of her personality, but and I also looked her up very just briefly, skimmed through some of the details, because she's only mentioned in Blood of Elves. And she's not really, like, her past is not really that well explained. So like the showrunners and the writers, they definitely had a lot more leeway to like flesh out her character and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's mentioned. Her appearance is supposedly in the books. She's the most beautiful being in the whole world by a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make with that what you want.
It's subjective, I guess.
Yeah, beauty is subjective, but I'm just saying that you can make with that what you want. And the way that her presence is described, the way that her demeanor is described in the books, I don't feel like that's exactly where we're at right now. I know it's also before that we actually meet her in the books, because we only meet her in, I think, Town
so
of
this
Contempt.
is again fleshing out some backstory and maybe like getting to be that person that is then described in the books later on.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I mean. Because so there are like a few things that happens before we get to meet her, and I think that's what they're trying to flesh out. I'm not sure. I can see that they're trying to build a character and everything, and they were talking about Ethlyn. I thought that they were saying a little bit weird, but that's, when you read stuff. And then you hear it back from someone else, and they're saying it in a different way that you actually see. Because I think I would call her more like Ethlyn, but that's just the way I would pronounce it.
Pronunciations when it comes to like books, and then you're adapting.
It's very hard, and it's not. I'm not really sure how to do things because I'm not Polish, so I don't know like how it's supposed to sound in Polish, and that's the original language. So I would rather I would rather try and do it in Polish, that I would try to anglify it, because I'm a bit of a purist like that. But that's that's a whole other discussion. But yeah, it's interesting what they're doing here, especially with like Fringilla and Yennefer, and I actually really like what they're doing, and that they're fleshing out like Yennefer's part of this story. Like you don't really hear from her a lot, so they have a lot of leeway, the writers, with her story, and I think that's great, and what we've seen so far is great, and I love Anya Chalotra. No, what's it called? Anya Chalotra.
I can't remember her name.
Okay.
Her performance.
Yeah, her performance I think is great, and I definitely fall in love a lot more with Yennefer's character, like her portrayal of it as well. I really like it. I think she's doing a great job.
Yeah, I think that's also one of the things that can happen, like from book to TV. As an example, again in Game of Thrones, like Cersei is way more of an like interesting character to some in the series compared to in the books, where she's more one note all the way through. So it could be maybe the same thing here, where Yennefer as a character just seems more fleshed out and more likable, perhaps.
Yeah, I think there's like there. Maybe just no. I just think that she's doing a great job, and she's giving a little bit of warmth to the character, because I think I really don't like book Yennefer. I hate her with a passion. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. So I really enjoy her portrayal of Yennefer, and also what she's going through here. The whole thing where she's like she has performance issues, definitely.
Yes, with the magic, and after she just did the whole fire thing there, and how fire magic is apparently not allowed, but she did it anyway to save everyone. And it is interesting where they then ended up in the story, and after everything that happened and all the visions, which can get, the way that they're doing it, they definitely want to confuse the viewer, or at least make it sort of cryptic and hard to understand. But in the end, Fringilla, on behalf of Nilfgaard, sort of made an alliance with the elves, because it is more or less the northern kingdoms, and they have been treating, or the way that they have been treating the elves is not good. And Nilfgaard is against the northern kingdoms as well, so the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or wait, how does it go?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, that's what I said, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, they ended up with, it seems like an alliance might not pan out all the way through. I don't know the story. But there's something to build on there. And then now Yen is alone all of a sudden.
Apparently.
And kind of screwed again because of the performance issues, and just stuck in the woods. So it's going to be interesting to see where we're going to go from there. It's even though there was a lot of foreshadowing in this one, it doesn't necessarily really tell us exactly, okay, this is probably what we're going to be seeing in the next episode. So I'm expecting for maybe a time jump in the next one, or
maybe
they're gonna be leaving Kaer Morhen again and go on an adventure. I don't know for how long they're gonna be staying at Kaer Morhen, but yeah, it's I at least sort of enjoyed this episode. Maybe not as much as the first one. I liked the Nivellen story there, and the portrayal of Nivellen. Everything with the Broxa, that was really well made. Not that this one was.
No, it was like the effects really got.
Oh yeah, with the
like.
Leshy in particular, that was really well made, and that can be difficult, like portraying a creature like that, I imagine. But we've already been talking a lot, and we could probably keep going and dive into details here and there. But do you have anything you want to add before we? Okay, yes, teeny tiny thing.
Filavandriel.
Go.
If I remember correctly, he's not really that much in the books.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that they reused him, and I actually kind of like his character, and I like that, like, this whole thing we had in this episode. I like that, and yeah, it's for me. I'm really trying to point out the positive stuff I like about this. So Filavandriel was definitely a big win for me.
Yeah, there is definitely positives, a lot of it, and it's not necessarily because it's all negative when they veer away from the books. It's just different.
Yeah, and Filavandriel was also very different from the books, but that's where it's like he kind of was lumped into the Grey Soup as well. But for me, it just gave him more character in a way that made him a lot more entertaining and enjoyable. Yeah.
To watch. Okay, yeah. But that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of The Witcher Season 2, Episode 2, Kaer Morhen. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.